Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage podcast, episode 105. I am Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sinitsky. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. I have a convertible Ferrari Testarossa.
You do?
Right next to me.
Indeed. Let it be known that it is a 1/24th scale kind of crappy model.
But it is a copy of the Newport engineering convertible that Michael Jackson used in a Pepsi commercial.
Oh, wonderful.
I had to do
just what I wanted.
I did a whopping 30 seconds of research before we started the episode so I could say something about it.
That's honestly kind of how I rip articles off the internet too. So for Carbitrage.
Well, I needed something to do while you were doing that because I was I do all this like earlier in the week.
Gotcha.
It's like Wednesday. I'm like fixing to do something, so I'm like, I need to do something to feel productive outside of work.
Yeah, I think I used to, and during the winter, I think I'm much more apt to actually fill out the notes during the week. But during the warm months,
You're doing stuff, yeah. Well,
I get down here and I start 10 minutes ahead of time on the show, and I just look through like 2 or 3 different sources, and I find something that's interesting to me, and then we just cover that. So that's why my topics are a little bit shorter.
They're really just talking pieces, and we riff off of that. And
right.
I mean, we don't have a script at all.
Well, if we did, it would probably suck. Or the document itself would be like film.
A mile long.
Yeah, it would be film length. So.
Really, really awful.
Anyway, I normally would cover beer at this point. I'm currently not drinking one. It looks like there was a Northeast in there?
There was a solitary Northeast. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. I didn't even know it was in there.
I told you.
That's right.
I have some beer I'm going to bring you, so I'm not going to be a dick about it. Anyway, Patreon.
Yep.
We need to plug that because we have a solitary Northeast. And you know why?
Why?
Because we need more Patreons.
Well, we need more patrons on Patreon.
It's so bad.
It's so lonely.
That's why I've been drinking Pepsi. Please help us.
It's worth noting that we've only gotten through, I think, we are thankful for the patrons that we have, but I think we've only gotten a third of the way through paying for the equipment I bought over a year ago for the show. So we haven't even gotten into any beer offset at this point. But yeah, if you are interested in supporting the show, please head on to patreon.com/Carbitrage.
I would be willing if they wanted. I think we could probably plug them. You know, whoever our Patreons are, whenever they join us, just say a thank you over there.
If they're vain, we can absolutely do that for them.
If they're vain like that, if that's what it requires for.
Yeah, if you guys want a shout out, just shoot us a message, and we'll stroke your ego on the show.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, not too much.
If Corey's ever returned from the Wolves, he might stroke a little bit more for you. But
anyway, so let's talk about last week. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago, I think. At this point, the Intermark show.
Yes.
So I don't think we've mentioned the show before. We hadn't covered it before on the podcast because I missed it last year.
Yeah, you went this year.
I did go this year.
And I actually I'm writing a 2-piece article on it. I got part 1 up. I'm in the process of writing part 2.
I saw part 1 on the Carbitrage Facebook.
I needed to make it a 2-piece because I like the show that much.
It's a good show.
It's
really solid.
Normally when I write an article about a show, I talk about the cars that were there, and that's about it. Because I want to avoid all the crappiness. I don't want to be a jerk about shows. I mean, I will if I have to, but I usually try not to. But no, Intermark, they really just nailed it so hard with this show.
It is surprising how. I mean, it's almost like the Cars and Caves in a way because it's actually pretty well publicized.
Yeah.
But it's in channels that like the fuckboys never see.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
It's kind of. Oh, sorry, Jana, I had your microphone down.
Jana said yes, I agree.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. You should be able to hear her now. I've turned it up. So, but yeah, I mean, you pull in. First of all, it's in downtown Osseo, which is just a small town in the northwestern suburbs of Buffalo, Minneapolis.
Third ring suburb on the north side.
Yes, because it's up near 610.
Because you got Robbinsdale, and then you got Brooklyn Park, and then you got Osseo.
So you come off of one of our main north-south roads. You head about a mile off of that, and you get into what looks like a fairly quaint
little town.
Yeah, I mean, not.
You literally will miss it.
Yeah, you easily could.
You will easily miss it coming off the highway.
And the main street isn't like, I mean, it is connected to that road that you come off of, but you don't
it's
see
a stop
it.
sign.
Right. So
it's a stop sign. Yeah.
So I went in on the side, and I was just driving the 850 down there, parallel to the show, and I got waved in at a stop sign from an older fellow. Like I didn't know where the entrance was.
Oh, okay.
He just like points at me and like does the wave with the arm. So he moves the little barrier. I hop in. I get up to the front, and like clearly they're not used to BMWs attending this show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know where we should park you. So he just sends me down and parks me by the Citroens, which was good.
The French cars, yes.
Right. And then after I walked around for a while, I realized that there were multiple BMWs at the show.
Just all over the place.
Yeah, well, they were kind of clustered, but not really.
Not really.
It wouldn't have mattered either way.
The Mercedes were clustered because they were the featured mark.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So lots of. I mean, we'll get there too. But I parked up. We walked. We saw Michael with all the Citroens.
Yep.
Yes.
Jan spent a lot of time talking to him.
I'm sure. Yeah.
We had
I always do.
The English car row.
Me and Michael had a very good conversation about coach-built DSs. So.
God, I'm glad I avoided that. And then head the other way, go through the Mercedes section. Lots of nice, clean R107s, a couple Pagodas, like a wide-body Koenig SEC.
No, it wasn't Koenig. It was AMG, but...
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Is a 560 SEC AMG
Mr.
wide body.
Hawkyard's Triumph wagon.
And did you see it Triumph Stag? That was across from it. It was running. It was weird. I've never seen anything like that.
I probably ignored it. I was too busy looking at Hawkyard's car.
Yeah, but it was...
a couple old Rolls Royces.
Yeah, so. There was no Grey Poupon on any of those.
2 MR2 Spiders.
Really?
Both of which were fairly clapped out. One of them had a 2ZZ swap, though. So that was pretty cool.
I didn't see either of those.
I saw. Cool.
Did you see the Austin Healey? There's a Austin Healey
with a 7M in it.
TR4. No, is it? I think it was a TR4. Is your TR? It might have been a Spitfire. I didn't look at the car itself. It had Beams 3SGE.
I saw a Silvertop 4A swapped.
Yep.
Little baby guy.
Yeah, that was a Sprite.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
That's my favorite British car of all time.
I took photos of 4 cars there. That was one of them.
I took more. Did you see the Humbler Super Snipe? Do you know what a Humbler Super Snipe is?
Ryan, you know damn well I don't know what a Humbler Super Stripe is.
Snipe.
I don't
Super
care.
Snipe. It's a great name for a car.
Don't care.
But anyway,
Professor Snipe.
It looks like a Checker Marathon.
Okay.
Which is not impressive at all.
No.
It has an inline 6.
That's pretty cool.
A cross-flow inline 6
nice.
with hemispherical piston cylinder heads.
Hemispherical pistons.
Sorry, hemispherical. Yeah, of course they're sorry, cylinder heads.
That's funny.
And yeah, domed piston tops as well. But no, it was actually really, really cool because the more I looked at it, the more it was like totally like unrestored. Like the guy found it in a barn somewhere. But I did some research on it because like. Me and Richard were walking through Hawkyard, and we were walking through looking at all the weirdo British cars because he likes those, and so do I. And then I found this like, what the hell is that? And yeah, it was a Humbler Super Snipe, and I never looked into them, and they're very cool cars.
Anyway, so there were a couple of clean NA Miatas.
The Borgward Isabella.
There was a car with a 7M GTE swapped in it that just was like, it was like an old Volvo wagon or something.
Oh, weird.
That was there. Yeah, it was weird.
But you saw the Borgward, right?
I don't know, maybe.
The big red 50s looking car and with all the French cars?
No.
Oh, it was a German car. That one was another hemispherical.
Ooh, can we talk about a car that was just outside of the show?
Yes.
The
Callaway twin turbo sledgehammer.
I didn't see that. Oh man, that's like my favorite C4.
Oh, it was a beautiful red twin turbo.
Oh, I've seen. Was that the one that was at Cars and Coffee a couple of years ago?
I believe so. Yes.
Did you see that super?
So I took a picture of the 4A car.
Oh, let me see that. So that is in a Austin Healey Sprite Mark II. Did you see that really, really, really clean second gen Celica Supra?
I did actually.
Oh, look at that Callaway. Oh,
I walked up to him like, oh, is it just an aero body or is it a twin turbo? And then I see the glass where it's got it etched in twin turbo. And I was like, oh,
that's extremely rad.
And it was Ann Manuel, so that was good.
Perfect. That's peak radness.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
I'm very happy that exists.
Callaway etched into the wheels. It's just so rad. Like
it's a great car. All right, there were a few old school Jaguars there, a number of them.
Yeah, actually quite a few.
There was a Jaguar Mark II.
I think there were a couple.
Yeah, there were a couple. But have you ever looked under the hood of one of those?
Yeah. Oh man, is that wedged?
Yeah. Though what's weird though is they put the muffler over the engine. Have you noticed that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's a crossover pipe that was feeding the carburetor to the intake manifold.
There's the exhaust goes up and over the engine. They have a big, huge muffler that's up against the firewall, and then goes down and out the back.
Didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was really weird.
What if they use it for like heat?
It must be like an engine. I guess it kind of makes sense because like then you get a quieter engine, you get a bigger, better muffler. Heats up the engine more, and then also you can allow the car to be lower.
Huh.
Because you don't need the...
I can't believe I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world.
Actually, I spent a fair bit of time looking at those cars, too.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time at the French cars. That Borg Ward, it was next to the Lloyd 600. But that car was my car of the show. Was that
Did you guys see the plastic-bodied Citroen?
Which one?
It was it was based on a 2CV, but it was an all plastic body.
The Lomax, right?
So cool.
Yeah, the Lomax is really cool.
Yeah, it's a gray one.
Yeah, he was. Cool. That was very cool. There's also an all original MGTD on wire wheels with the narrow tires that was there.
I did see that.
Usually people put the big fat good tires on, but I don't like that. I want to party.
I want to be able to power slide a car with 40 horsepower.
Yeah, I'm not getting an MGTD to actually be good at anything. I'm getting it because it's an MGTD.
I did vomit in my mouth a couple times with the TR7s.
Yeah.
But beyond that. Anyway.
The TR7's kind of like, they're kind of like the Tri-5, where like, there's a lot of them that are there. Yeah. Or no, I wasn't thinking of the TR7, I was thinking of Spitfire. Because Spitfire is always
a lot
like...
of those too, yeah. The wheel tire proportion on those just isn't good to me.
You know, I think it's goofy. I like it. It reminds me of Renault 4CV, where it looks like it's got too big of feet.
Yeah.
But no, my issue with it is that there's so many tasteless ones. Just the worst ones, like...
Tasteless
ones. With like GM 3400 engine swaps and stuff, which is a legitimate engine swap.
Why
it's like
would
still...
you do that?
The Miata engine exists. Like, if you're going to engine swap it, put a Miata engine in.
The 4A exists.
There's so many other
number of engines.
Literally any engine. The rotary. You have a Triumph. A Triumph with a 2.5 liter inline six. There can't be that many engines that are worse.
Yeah.
Like that, those aren't known for having a good engine.
No.
Like, they're great cars.
Yeah, Richard talked to us about that. I'm like, even if you're pretty kind to them, they just need to be replaced after a while.
Yeah, it's a sucky engine, and it's just don't put in a Oldsmobile Silhouette engine. There's so many better things.
Yeah,
so
you're just putting in Dexcool problems.
Yeah, you are.
Anyway, let's move on to your topic here.
Yes,
I want to keep this rolling just because we have to do
version.
shorter episodes this week.
Hot version.
Okay. What is that?
So there is a Japanese version of Top Gear called Best Motoring.
Yes, I am actually aware of this now because of you.
Best Motoring has a spin-off, which is about the Japanese aftermarket industry, called Hot Version. And Hot Version isn't like, like we have like aftermarket shows here in America from time to time. They're just like really bro.
Yeah.
This one, they take like cars like shop like demo cars, and they review them the same way you would a normal car. So like you have like the Seeker Honda Civic and like the M&M Honda like Integra Type R. I'm just thinking of like cars the Revolver AE86. This
car is horribly impractical because the trunk is bolted shut.
Yeah, like the Tech Arts AE86 and stuff.
Tommy Kyra.
Tommy Kyra, like everything they've ever made. Yeah, so they take these demo cars, these shop cars are like cars that are built like a Spoon Civic or something, and then they actually will test them against each other, and instead of having just some random photojournalists like doing it, they have actual race car drivers.
Okay. So
they have Nob Taniguchi, Kaiichi Sachiya, and Manubo Ataru, I think, is the third guy. He's a newer guy, but they're like actual race car drivers. And then there's a lady that's always wearing a leopard print bikini with cat ears because it's Japan.
Of course.
And they have like prosthetic fingers they poke each other with. It's very, very Japanese.
What a weird culture.
It's so weird. It's like MXC for cars. It's really, really good. I absolutely love it. And you know what? Now it's streaming on Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah, so the beautiful thing is they do not give a half of a shit about properly subtitling things.
Oh, man.
So when they said they were coming to America, they said, I need to get the exact quote that they had.
Is it in here?
No, I've got it right here.
All right.
Hot Version is coming to Amazon Prime with English subtitle Floodly.
Well, I see this is going well right off the bat.
Right off the bat, it's going wonderful. It's in full HD, but the best part is, since it's coming Floodly, you can now watch it however much you want. as much as you want. And they've been doing this since literally 1990, I think. It was the first year they did that.
Oh, that's the year I was born.
So it's literally been on for 29 years.
Oh, so it's like Top Gear.
Yeah, it's been on forever with the same people.
You do realize 1990 was almost 30 years ago,
I know.
Right?
I just said 29. I'm not talking about this anymore. But anyway, so it's literally been on forever. So they have newer seasons than you can find on YouTube. And it used to be like whenever you'd find it, they would just throw them on YouTube, like half-ass the shit out of throwing them on. And like, sometimes the uploads would be bad and you'd like drop sound halfway through and they just wouldn't fix it because they didn't care. Because in Japan, you just buy the DVD and you're fine.
Right.
And that's how they have always done it, and they've made plenty of money doing that. So this is just entirely like a thing that they wanted to do. But yeah, now they're actually going to be streaming it on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is actually reaching out to the car community, which is huge. Really happy about that. But yeah, I'm really excited when Jan has to take a nap later today, hopefully, and I'll be watching that.
Fair enough. Maybe I'll watch some when I'm on autopilot heading up north.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, it's a really, really good series.
Not that I would do that because that's illegal. But
yeah, no, I highly...
You would just have it on for the audio.
Yeah, I'd be listening to it.
Yeah.
I would recommend the episodes...
subtitled program on for the audio.
Yeah.
My favorite episodes thus far are back when they used to do it at Tsukuba Circuit. They had the VTEC Club where they had all the VTEC powered Hondas in like 2005. But it's like 2005 and you're making like...
VTEC.
You're making like 250 horsepower and integral all motor. Like, that's pretty cool in 2005.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a ton of power.
That is, especially when you're considering the displacement of the engine probably not being terribly high.
1.8 liters. And then you have the A86 Inspec tournament where they take all of the A86 touring cars that are still in existence. They race them against each other.
That sounds like a safe thing to do with all of these like historically significant A86
it's really funny.
cars.
Really, really hilarious because like they actually crashed a couple.
We have a good body guy. Don't worry.
Yeah. And then the newer ones, they did a K car shootout.
Okay.
And then they did another Honda one where they raced 90s Hondas versus modern Hondas.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, the 90s ones won for the most part. I think there was it was like the Mugen Civic RR, like Kimmy's generation from Draft Cartel.
Yeah, yep.
Like I think that one won outright. But other than that, of course, the car's made entirely of carbon fiber, so it's like obviously it's gonna win.
And it has a K series, which means that that's not to say that it's a better tuning platform than like any other twin cam Honda engine, really, but
it is.
It's
but it's like
pretty good.
It's a really, really good
light
engine.
engines. Yeah.
But yeah, so they so they've done like a bunch of really good episodes. They have like rotary ones. If it's about a Japanese car, they have it, and they even do European cars too. So they did like a hot hatch shootout where like Mini Coopers are in like BMW 1 Series and stuff against like Civics.
Were you guys here yet when one of these looky-loos that was walking through for the show today?
Yeah.
They were talking to me, and he like dropped something about minis. I'm like, never ever buy a mini. They're just hot garbage. And the guy's like, I have a mini. I'm like, sell it immediately.
Yeah, they're not good cars.
No, it's a horrible car. You're gonna end in pain.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun. Did you see those jewelers are losing their mind over the E30 M3?
Yes.
Of course, that's probably the entire show for you. So
that I don't know which car in here gets the most attention.
Probably that one. I think.
I mean,
like
the Lamborghini's like right at the edge.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people take butt shots of that thing, but
yeah, and it's a very. I like the old lady that was taking pictures on the underside of the Ferrari. It's like, why is this up in the air? And you're just like, I don't know. It's just like one of my several cars.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. I mean, I had to take off briefly for a Craigslist thing. But.
I was making a joke that, because the license plate on the Ferrari is on top, and it's on top of the lid.
Yeah, it has to stay up there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally is now the top car.
Yeah, because like there's like two guys, like, I don't know, millennials, that were like, why is this in the corner? And I was like, eh.
Well, I mean, I don't think I heard a single person catch the reference of the Ferrari plate this show.
Yeah, it's a really big bummer.
I know. Usually somebody's like, I love that plate.
You really need to get your GoldenEye Laserdisc.
Boom. Oh, yeah.
And get your Laserdisc player and put it up there with the GoldenEye like jacket on top of it and see if anybody notices.
If it was a Berlinetta, I would take the quarter window just behind the driver's window. And I would do like Z on the top and then like the flag of Italy or
really
Russia
cool.
or whatever.
That'd be really cool.
Be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't have that because it's a convertible,
yes.
which means it's trash.
And it's better. Anyway, now you really like the new Supra.
I do. Well, I mean, I think I can say as a whole that Carbitrage likes the new GR Supra.
Yes, we can say as a whole. For me personally, outside of Carbitrage, like objectively, if it is on my list of cars I really like I like the existence of it. I like the car as a platform, but if I will actually put it on my list of cars I'm really, really, really a fan of, the jury's still out on that. But
anyway, so I won't bore you to tears, listeners, because you've heard me talk about the GR Supra probably on 80% of the episodes for the last 3 months. I think it's worthy. However, we talked about the embargo lifting last week. Now, people are actually strapping these things to dynos, and we are starting to get power numbers. So, back when the 276 horsepower limit was set, that handshake agreement for Japanese cars, pretty much everything was extremely underrated. But more recently, Japanese cars have been pretty much right on the money for quoted power figures.
Yeah.
BMW, though, since
not.
releasing turbo engines, has been extremely conservative on their stated power numbers. Like in 2007, when the 335 came out, they listed it as 300 horsepower, 300 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
They strapped it to the dyno. It made 326 horsepower and 380 foot-pounds of torque. Stock. With a 6-speed manual. So, way understated.
It's funny, back in the day when Japanese would do that, is they do goofy things because they have to fit in that 276, and they'd find a way to...
Did they dieselgate it?
No, they wouldn't cheat or anything, but they'd turn the AC on.
Or they put a really good AC compressor and make it really hot in the dyno room or something.
Yeah, they'd do stuff like they wouldn't turn the fan on the blower so the engine would run hot, or they'd do something goofy like that, or
cuts timing or something just to reduce the power.
Yeah, or they'll put in 87 octane.
There you go.
They'll swim butt gas.
They'll ship in Nebraska 85 octane just for their dyno run.
They will find a way to make their dyno run lower, or
that's a good point, because if you're running it on a really good pump gas versus these cars really do have to be designed to run on gas around the world without damaging themselves. So that's probably a lot to do with at least enforced induction cars. The computer just has the threshold set higher when you're running proper fuel.
And so they wouldn't dieselgate it, but this is before they would do go to those lengths. They would just do something some backyard fix to make it slower.
And they'll run it on one of the Heartbreaker dynos.
Yeah, run a dirty air filter or something. Find a way to make it slower.
Yeah, we ran through the cottonwood forest before we came here. The filter was pretty plugged up, but you look at during the dyno pull, the rubber intake pipe is just compressing,
sucking itself. Yeah, we put this air filter in the car in the paint booth when the other cars are being painted. So it's just
partially blocked. Anyway, I digress. Back to the GR. Since it runs a BMW powertrain, it appears to be significantly understated. So factory quotes 335 horsepower, 365 foot-pounds. It actually makes 339 horsepower to the tire and 427 foot-pounds, which, figuring a conservative...
That's a bit of a difference.
It's pretty significant, yeah. And considering driveline loss of, we'll say conservatively 15%, that puts that thing, almost 400 horsepower and 480 foot-pounds or something like that. That's pretty stout.
That's a very, very good engine.
It is. The B58 is great, and that's half of what it's able to take on stock internals.
So for everybody that's complaining about the BRZ being slow, there you go. Now you've got a car to go jack off to.
The BRZ probably makes quoted horsepower.
I'm going to happily be driving my BRZ FRS if I ever buy one.
Those are great cars, and you guys are the manual.
While you guys are jerking off over your Supra or whatever.
Was it last week we talked about the take rate on the...
Yeah, being crazy high.
Really high for the BRZ.
Yeah, for manuals, yeah.
So anyway, and then just a side note, it's not in this article, but apparently Toyota internal documentation has said that they are testing manual transmissions in these.
Good, because everybody's pissed.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if they're going to use a BMW manual or a Toyota manual.
I bet they'll use the BMW
I
one.
really wish they'd use a Toyota part at any point in the production of this vehicle.
You do realize that the Mark IV Supra used a ZF, a Getrag.
I know.
German manual, right?
I know. Yeah,
that's why it was good.
Yeah.
The V160s.
Yeah, the V160. Okay, it was in literally every car in the 90s.
That was a 420G. Yeah, a good transmission. Anyway, there's
speaking
that.
of German,
GR is good. Yes.
I want to talk about Lamborghini VAG product today.
Ooh, okay.
But I want to compare them against Porsche.
That's a weird comparison.
Let's get weirder.
Okay.
Porsche and Lamborghini, do you know what they have in common other than being currently owned by Volkswagen?
That's what I was going to go with.
They both used to make tractors.
Oh, God.
So I'm wondering, who makes the better tractor? Is it the Lamborghini DL30 or the Porsche Junior? I think the best way to compare these is to have Jana give her opinion on which one's cuter.
Okay, so this is the Porsche Junior.
Yes.
It has a 2-cylinder air-cooled diesel engine.
Okay.
Or the
Porsche.
Lamborghini DL.
I don't know what's in the Lamborghini DL30. I know nothing about that.
Look how
Porsche.
deco that is.
Like,
It's so cute.
Yeah, the Porsche
like
is
the
way
Lamborghini
cuter.
is cute, but
Look
look
how
at that
cute
Porsche.
that
This
is.
thing looks like a beluga whale.
It really
It
does. It's like face and
Should I
like
sing Baby Beluga?
it's got a really big forehead on it. It's so cute. So
Yeah, like I like the Lamborghini, but Porsche definitely wins.
so there
for
you
cuteness, I agree.
Yeah.
go. Yes. Now, as far as the tractor itself goes, I'm also going to go with Porsche because I'm absolutely certain the Lamborghini will not be reliable.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know
it's
what
made
engine
in
that
Italy.
has.
It doesn't
Let's
matter.
find out.
Probably a 2-liter V12 or a 3-liter V12.
It's a 1.8 liter 2-cylinder diesel.
Wow, I really nailed it on these two comparing them.
Yeah,
Because
they're
they're both
direct
2-cylinder.
competitors. Well, they're a year apart, so that makes sense. 2-cylinder diesel. Wow.
And then that one, if I'm not mistaken, is a 2-cylinder
Look at the
diesel
badge
as
on the
well.
Porsche diesel.
I like that it uses Porsche front hubs.
No, you could just bolt Volkswagen or Porsche wheels right onto the front.
Yep.
And the back is just whatever tractor implement. but-
So the Lamborghini does have a 4-speed. This has a 3-speed in it.
Is the Lamborghini liquid cooled or is
I-
it air cooled?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on in front of my house right now. There's a bunch of notifications. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's an underhood shot. Oh, that's liquid cooled.
It is liquid cooled.
Hmm.
I'm still gonna have to say the. Ooh,
I
man.
think I'm liking that Porsche engine a little more, or the Lamborghini engine a little bit more.
So, well, how about this? If you're a Patreon, please subscribe. Or if you're not a Patreon yet, subscribe. Give us $1 and give us your response, and we will read them off.
No, just ping us on the page and tell us which one you like more.
Yes.
We're getting rid of the patron-only interactions. So.
All right. Well, anyway, so yeah, let us know which one you prefer. I think that the Porsche is cute.
Well, it's tough because the Porsche is like restored and this Lamborghini is like.
Well,
ridden
I'm just
hard,
saying
put it right
tractor
wet.
to tractor. Not quality, not individual ones, but as the vehicle itself. 'Cause I think, this Porsche is really cute, but I really like the grille on the Lamb. If you took the grille and put that on everything else Porsche, I think that'd be perfect. Put the headlights like they are in the Lamborghini, because I think those headlights are really cute. I also like how one's just kind of kinked down a little bit.
Looks like a children's movie character. Or
It
something like
does.
that.
They both do. But I mean, yeah. So yeah, let us know which one you prefer more. What's also I noticed that the Lamborghini has a 4-leg pattern, so that would be the only 4-leg Lamborghini ever.
4 by like 250.
Yeah.
The back looks like a standard
honestly, it
6
looks like
bolt.
it's 4x140. It looks like it's a Subaru leg pattern.
Maybe it is. Maybe
It
it's
very-
a
very
GL10
well
in
could be.
disguise.
So there you go. That's what gave you the Miura.
That's
Well,
That's a bit of a
Miura,
stretch.
but the what was the first one? It was the 300 GT or something.
yeah, 350 GT or something.
Yeah, the Lamborghini 350 GT. Well, that was
3500 GT.
3500 GT. That's
Sounds
what it was.
right. Yeah,
But that was the tractor that was in production when Lamborghini.
that car was
had,
being designed.
when what was his name? Ferruccio Lamborghini. What was his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, when Ferruccio Lamborghini was having his argument with
Ferdinand versus Ferruccio.
versus Ferrari. So there you go. Let us know. I'm a fan of the Porsche. It's the only time you'll ever hear me say that a German product is better than an Italian product.
To be the obtuse guy, I'm going to go with the Lamborghini because liquid cooling.
Yeah, there. I like the air cooling in the Porsche. It goes to the whole Porsche MO.
I do like the swollen forehead beluga whale look of the Porsche, though.
Another thing about that Lamborghini, Lamborghinis are designed in Italy, so therefore every single liquid passage in that engine is probably really tiny. So I may go with that Porsche because that will actually work.
The Porsche engine
70
probably
degrees.
cools better.
Yeah, it's probably a
with
better
air.
engine overall. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Porsche. Burger's going with the Lamborghini, and it is up to you to let us know. Jana says Porsche because the Porsche is really cute. Mm-hmm. However, did you notice the left eye on the Lamborghini? It was all googly.
It was a little derpy.
It's kind of derpy. I like that.
Yeah,
it looks like an honest simpleton.
As a vehicle, I will take the between these two exact examples, I will take that Ferrari over the Porsche because of its derpy eye.
You just said Ferrari.
Or, I'm sorry, Lamborghini over the Porsche because of its derpy eye. Anyway, so that's what I need to talk about. I noticed both of those. I saw that there was a Porsche and a Lamborghini that were for sale at the same time on Bring a Trailer a couple weeks ago. And they weren't direct competitors or anything, but they were both Porsche and Lamborghinis, and they were about the same price. I'm like
a year apart. That's kind of impressive.
Well, no, these were I didn't say tractors. I just said a Porsche. Like it was a 930 turbo, and then like a Lamborghini Eslero.
We can equate it. It's the same.
So I said they were both going for like $45,000. This is like a really good Eslero and a terrible 930, and I'm like,
I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
I'm like, I wonder what's cooler, Lamborghini or Porsche. Obviously, the Countach is the best car, but as a brand, so I had to find their most basic product.
It's the unique brand of Carbitrage. If you're still listening, you probably expect that of us anyway.
Yes,
so.
Exactly.
Well, fine. I think that the Porsche is probably going to win overall, but that's it's whatever.
It's because it's cute, but you know what? The Lamborghini needs its time in the sun too. So there is that.
Fair enough. I don't want things to get overlooked and shoved into the corner. So, speaking of actually overlooked and shoved into the corner things, I was actually perusing for an article, a story, for whatever, and I came across just a post on the old.reddit.com r cars, and it was, what engine platform is surprisingly good for modification that you never would have thought of? So basically, what's an engine platform out there that like there are performance parts for, and they're really stout and easy to make power with, but like nobody knows about them. So I'll go first, but like pick 3.
Oh, I got 3.
Okay, go first.
My life is 3.
Give me 3.
We'll do one at a time.
Okay, fine.
My first one.
I'll go second. You go first.
The Ford 2.3 4-cylinder.
That's
not
a great
the Ecotec.
answer. The SVO
the
motor.
old one.
Yeah.
The one that's in my van.
And the Ranger.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
no, the one that's in my van. The MZW.
The MZR?
No, MZW. That engine actually, there's a lot of weird stuff you can do with those to make good power on them.
Yeah, but they really have a very finite threshold. Where
they have a finite for forced induction.
Yeah.
However,
yeah.
If you're looking to do bolt-on parts,
yeah.
Like my van picks up like almost 30 horsepower from intake header and exhaust.
That's pretty impressive for an NA.
That's really, really impressive, the stuff that you can do with an NA on that. And then the thing is like, for a 2.3, you can also get the 2.5 bottom end from a Fusion. Yeah. Which goes on there, and that will then give you even more power. So I think if you do a 2.5 and you put some money into it, you can get over 200 horsepower on it.
The only gripe I have about that engine is not at all related to its power output, and that is the friction fit flywheel key for the timing chain, which makes those almost impossible to rebuild.
You know what? The timing chains almost never go out on those.
That is true, but I'm just saying, like, if you have to do a front seal on those, the odds of you slipping timing and having to replace your engine is extremely high.
That's true. I don't want to touch that.
Speaking of another quirky engine that is 2.3 liters in displacement and also a good platform, the Saab 2.3T.
Really?
That inline 4 is seriously stout. So the one that they use in the 9.5 and the 9.3 Viggen.
Okay.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, one of like it had to be strong. It was a derivative of the old 900 turbo engine, which was always 2 liters, but the 2.3 specifically. That engine, you can more than double the stock output. That's fine.
Really odd. I did not know that. I just would have.
Yeah, right.
I would have thought that they were a horrible, just nightmare engine.
They are because they sludge like a 1MZ.
Yeah,
but if you can keep the sludge out of them, they're actually pretty solid.
That's amazing.
The transmissions are made out of like potatoes, though. I mean.
Okay. So that's where your Achilles heel is. Yep. That's why you don't ever see them.
Correct.
Speaking of terrible transmissions.
Yeah.
The Oldsmobile Chiva. Almost exclusively automatic.
Yeah.
The GM Quad 4.
High output.
Yeah.
Quad 4, 184 horsepower version.
Kick-ass engine.
Good engine.
But remember, the Oldsmobile Aerotech was 800 horsepower.
Was that the race engine based on the Quad 4?
That was when they first designed the Quad 4. They designed the Quad 4 to be used in the Aerotech as a concept car. Where Oldsmobile set a production or a land speed record for like concept or something, like in the late 80s. But then they just detuned it. They kept all the architecture the same.
Huh.
And then they made the Quad 4. That's why the high output, they could just make 180 horsepower on that.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good looking engine. The valve covers always look terrible, but the intake manifolds are
loved
beautiful.
Those valve covers. They were so 80s. It was great.
Dude, it was like typing with a font that your kid created on the sidewalk with chalk.
I liked it.
On a production valve cover. I'm going to pull one of these up just so you keep talking.
This is the thing. There's actually aftermarket parts of these.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you can get like Eagle HB rods and stuff. And I've told my story about the guy who...
They're vintage eligible in a couple of series.
Yeah, and there was a guy that I love that. What are you talking about? It's a great font.
I'm trying to find... Here it is. Keep talking.
I'm just looking at this font trying to see what the issue is. And I don't see it.
It just looks like a toddler drew it. That's all.
Anyway, so... I've told the story about the guy who bought the Eagle rods that we had in clearance at MA Performance, and he put them on like a 9-second Achieva.
Where you thought it was fraud?
Yeah, I was convinced. Yeah, nobody wants that. But no, I was wrong, because you also have to understand, this engine like came out in like the mid-'80s. Like if this high output Quad 4 was put in the Fiero, the Fiero would have annihilated everything. That would have been the coolest car in the world.
I mean, that intake manifold is chunky. Like, that thing's making power.
Yeah, that's a very, very cool engine. But, that's an engine nobody ever thinks of to make power on. And if I was going to build an engine...
I don't like that guy, by the way.
Yeah, I don't like him either.
Okay.
If I was going to build an engine, if for an American car it wasn't a V8, it would 100% be a Quad 4.
Has anyone said put that in the Mondial?
No, I'm waiting for somebody to say that.
All right.
That'd be
if you guys come on, if you're ever a guest on the podcast, that should be your answer.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. It's a Quad 4 high output.
Yeah.
That'd be a very, very, very cool
engine.
Could
easily get it with a transaxle, too.
What's your third?
My second, is the I think it's a 2.2 liter. Anyway, maybe it's a 2 liter, but the Cobalt SS Turbo.
Those
late
are
Cobalt
Ecotechs?
Yeah.
That's a really good engine.
The Ecotech Turbo apparently is like...
Just the Ecotech as a whole. Because you can run the Ecotech 2.3, I think is what it was, the NA one.
They had a 2.0, a 2.2, a 2.4.
It was a 2.2, that's what it was. But the Ecotech 2.2 is just as good. So back then when we used to go out street racing, there's this Mexican dude who had a copper Cavalier with an eBay turbo kit on it, and he was running an AutoZone clutch. And he would, the guys, whenever his car would go, his clutch would start slipping because he was making 380 horsepower, something ridiculous.
How the hell did he swap an Ecotech into a Cavalier?
The last generation of Cavalier had an Ecotech option.
The 05?
The very last couple of years, yeah.
Huh. So didn't know that.
Super late model Cavaliers had an Ecotech 2.2.
I'm going to, ahead of the game right now, that's what I learned this week. You can get an Ecotech and a Cavalier.
The very last couple of years.
Weird.
But yeah, no, he had one, and he would take that out. He upset a lot of like not just beat them, but made people really fucking mad, like inordinately angry, because it was this dude that 100% did not speak English, and he's
just flat foot shifting his Cavalier.
Yeah, flat foot shifting his Cavalier with his AutoZone clutch, smelling like it was awful smelling. When he would go by, and that car would dick on everything. So he beat a actually surprisingly quick IROC Z. It had an LS in it. He beat a lot of Evos and WRXs.
That's ridiculous.
Which is hilarious. Every single VR6 he went up against, he beat, and there's some
good,
very butthurt people. I think the most butthurt I saw was a guy with a 1.8T A4 with a front mount on it. I don't know what else he had done to it, but it sounded quick. And he got beaten by one car length, and he just got super mad, slammed his door, got into an argument, and then went home, and I never saw him again. It was very funny. So
that's surprising.
Yes. So what's your third choice?
My third is actually, this might not sound that surprising, but the Ford Coyote, so the 5-liter V8, the TI VCT engine.
Compared to the LS, I get it, because nobody touches those.
Well, that's the thing. I'm just the specific output of the Coyote is already like super high. Like it's a 5-liter engine that like in crappy spec makes 420 horsepower.
Yeah.
But like you can NA power mod those things up 100 horsepower.
Oh yeah.
Like
they're great.
They're
engines.
not at all stressed out in stock form, which is surprising for something that's NA and kind of no frills.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't expect that out of that engine.
Well,
and then forced induction, you can get them up to.
Well, the other thing
bananas.
is, Ford had a huge problem for the longest time. This Ford small block would split the blocks in half.
Yeah, the 302s.
Yeah, they would do that for a long time, but I don't think the Coyote does that, does it?
I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because there are plenty of 4-digit horsepower Coyotes with power adders.
Yeah, that's very cool. Really, any of the EcoBoost things too. I think it would be a
Yeah, but that's not surprising. Those are turbo.
yeah. Jana, do you have any cars that like you see that are like surprisingly fast that like you don't think about?
They're not like super fast, but I know Siennas scoot a lot faster. Than
That's
you would
actually
think.
the
2G RFE.
yeah, the Sienna, the 3.3 V6
3.5.
and well the 3.5. Well, that one, can you make power on those?
Those are the only ones you make power on.
Well, no, because the 3.3, that's the one where you have the factory supercharger, and then you can put the H22 Honda Prelude pistons into it because they share the same
But
bore.
nobody
and
does that.
wrist pin. Yeah, that guy with that AW11 MR2 in town. I think his name's like John Parker or something like that. But no, he's got a AW11 MR2 V6 with Jana's engine
Well, yeah.
with H22 pistons in it.
It's a really good engine, but the I mean, you can't like just NA tune those and make power.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, Toyota has a factory supercharger that was for the 3-liter.
3-liter, yeah.
But will bolt onto the 3.3.
I guess I'll accept that answer. I'm still.
there's that.
I don't know. It's just I don't know.
That is
Ignore my phone call. But yeah, no, I just like not necessarily a specific Sienna engine. Just like you just
Every
expect
generation,
them to, just be like grocery getters.
Yeah, it's a very humdrum. Like I just doing my job.
Cause like I live right
It's a
next
corporate
to
V6.
my high school,
Right, yeah.
and I had a bunch of like teenage boys and like clapped out Mustangs try to race me at stoplights, and I'm always like, yeah, let's do it,
Let's
and
do it. Throw it down.
I win every time.
Yeah.
I remember like hood rat stuff in Jimmy's old ES300.
ES300, same engine, yeah.
Because I had the auto with the 1MZ,
Yeah.
and then he had the manual with the 3VZ. Both of those were 3-liter V6s, and yeah, they were like 17 1/4-mile cars. They weren't fast, but
The 060, it was the 8th mile was a lot better because it'd fall on its face after about.
well, that was the automatic one. The stick was so much faster.
Well, the automatics, what happens is they're very, very fast up to about 45, 50-ish.
Which is probably like the first gear shift.
And well, that's the thing is that's when they design them that way because you're not gonna. You have an engine that only makes so much power, but you tune it so it's like the touch points on Volkswagens. So you step on the gas, you have all the power in the world. You go, wow, I can go whatever speed I want.
Well, it's just throttle tip-in programming.
Yeah, and nobody really takes a car on a test drive faster than 60. So
Which they should.
they absolutely should, but nobody really does that. And if you tune an engine to feel and be faster in that range, and then just fall on its face later on, like that's fine.
That's what people want for daily drivability.
Yeah, but that's the thing is with that engine, you can tune out that falling on its face and actually just have power all the time.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, you can't just like go buy an off-the-shelf performance intake manifold for that from like 4 different companies.
No, it's true. And that's the thing. That's one of those things where it's just like it's a weirdo car where it's just surprising amount of power. Did you have any others other than that, honey, Gianna?
Other than that,
No.
cause like I don't care. Like Eric and I were talking about this earlier. I don't care what other people think about cars. It's what I think about them.
Yeah.
So like I don't really look for speed so most of the cars I do like tend to be underappreciated.
Yeah, you just like the car.
I like underdog cars, and that's part of the reason why I like them is because people aren't necessarily interested in them.
Okay. Well, do you mind if I just give 2 throwaways then?
Yeah, and I can tell you yes or no.
Okay.
Make them quick.
The Lotta Riva.
Okay. Yeah.
That engine is over square. Can rev over. You can rev those up over 10,000 RPM.
It's a lump of iron. It's a great platform.
That's
Okay.
okay. That one.
All right. Yep.
And
So weird.
I had to come up with something super, super, super weird. And then the other one that you can actually make power on, the Honda F Series, not the S2000 engine, the 90
Right, the
through
single overhead
the
cord
90
motor.
through 2003 Accord 4-cylinder. Because those engines share architecture with the H22. The H22 is based off that. It's got the highest flowing factory cylinder head. And Bisimoto proved that you can make power on it because between 2006 and 2011, the world's fastest Honda NA.
NA Honda, yeah.
NA Honda.
You made like 350 horse NA out of an F22.
Yes.
Yep.
Was on a Honda F22 out of a 91 Accord LX.
I knew you were going to drop the F Series somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was just a
So
throwaway.
I have an idea. Can we put a Lada engine in a Yugo?
No.
No, because Ladas are longitudinal and Yugos are transverse.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
We could put a quad
Wait,
power
so
output
you're
in it,
saying
though.
you could put the Lada engine into the...
Subaru.
No.
You could put the Yugo engine in a Mondial.
Yes. That's
I assume that's what you were
Yeah.
doing. Okay.
Yes.
My brain has
Oh my
been
God. Can you
going
imagine how
blank.
awful that would be?
That
Actually-
would be so bad, but I kind of just like, I think that would be
It's
hilarious.
another engine where you can actually make some power. The thing is, Russians take shit and actually force them to make power.
Well, it's an old Fiat design, but the thing is they made it such a small displacement engine that it's pretty much just crap.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I mean, for its displacement, you can actually get it over 100 horsepower on a Yugo.
You
But
heard
anyway.
it here first, folks.
Anyway, things we learned this week.
I already got mine out of the way.
What was yours again?
You could get a factory Ecotech engine in a Cavalier.
Yep, there you go. Perfect. And honey,
That vehicle
Mine-
spanned
You have some good
3
ones.
generations of engine.
No, I don't have any good ones because my brain has been mush all week. But I did, while recording the podcast last week, finish my independent study summary, and I got a B on it.
Nice.
there you go. I learned actually at when Jana's little family thinks her uncle died last week, so it's kind of a
No,
bummer.
like a month ago.
Well, a
but
month ago, but
I
her
was gonna say,
all
definitely
the
wasn't last week.
all the things are last week. But
This week.
yeah, but this is dropping on Monday, so it was
Okay.
last week. I learned that California income tax
Yeah.
does not change regardless of if your value goes up until you sell the house.
Property tax.
Sorry, not income tax, property tax.
Interesting. So they reassess when you sell a house, but
Yes.
not while you live there?
Not while you live there.
That's
So
interesting.
Jana's uncle got a ranch before San Francisco's real estate market went insane.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben from Japanese Nostalgic Car just bought a house in Echo Park, which hasn't yet gentrified, but it's full hipsters and
Okay.
coffee shops.
Oh, so it's like my neighborhood.
So it's-
well, my neighborhood's not there yet.
Yeah.
But
we'll get
it's
there.
it'll get there.
it's getting there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they still did clear out like 3 homeless people out of the house and they moved in that did not know each other were living there.
Oh my
so
goodness,
just 3
okay.
completely independent homeless people.
That's pretty great.
But yeah, so anyway, yeah. So when you when you have a house in California, if you move into the neighborhood that hasn't gentrified yet, you get in before gentrification, your land value can be worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. And if you bought the house for $200,000, you're paying $200,000 interest.
You're paying property tax based on
Well, sorry,
$200,000
yes, sorry,
valuation.
property
Yes,
tax,
yes.
sorry.
I knew what you meant.
yeah,
It was
but
just
that-
said in a profoundly stupid way.
I'm sorry. That is, you're right. I got no excuse. That was me. I'm an idiot sometimes.
Me too.
But yeah, that was profoundly interesting to me.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good factoid.
Yeah, there you go. I won this week, I think.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I won.
Oh, and we already talked about the porcupine thing, so
Yes,
Yep.
there you go.
Two different. Yeah, that's also fascinating. But yeah,
I know.
Yeah, Jana won last week.
I'm working on these animal
I'm now, like,
and archaeology.
You're
facts.
you're-
next episode, I'm just like I'm chooching now.
You're turning into us. Your brain's full of random shit. You don't need to know.
Ryan, that has always been the case for me. It's just a completely different type of random crap.
Anyway.
Like between you, Trig, and Ryan.
It's a bad place.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
interesting.
Sadia Minhas once said, between Ryan, Trig, and Berger, there isn't a fact that is not known.
Not one worth knowing, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, thank you for listening to our ramblings.
And
Yep.
go look at the llamas at the Minnesota Zoo.
Yes, the Minnesota Zoo has llamas. That's why if you are watching on Twitch, Jana's
Oh,
clutching a
yeah.
bunch of llamas.
I got 2 llamas.
Aww.
She's got llamas.
That's
Actually,
pretty
the
adorable.
big one's an alpaca, but anyway.
Doesn't
So
matter.
thank you for listening.
Yep, we'll talk to you guys. Well, we'll talk at you guys later this week.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.